sir.
So many people will join from live stream and they can also watch later.
We are now live on YouTube as well.
Oh, fine, fine. It will be recorded now. Good enough. So very soon we will start our program. As we have announced, we are going live also, which is available at YouTube. Soon our two guests also join, Professor Rose and Professor Veena.
May I request organizers to begin the program?
Yes, of course, sir. I'm waiting for a couple of more guests actually. So if you are telling we can start, there is absolutely no problem. Professor Veena has also joined. So welcome you, ma'am. If you allow, shall we begin?
Yes, let's start on time.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay. So, a very warm good evening to one and all. I welcome you all on the behalf of NAPSWI Office Bearer in the NAPSWI newsletter release function. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to release our second issue of this newsletter actually, which is named the Student Chronicle. And the theme of this issue is quite interesting, changing perspective of fieldwork, especially during COVID pandemic. And the major highlights of this newsletter are invite of application of ambassadorship program to 2022 and 23 students forum at 9th Indian Social Work Congress. There is a brief report actually, and report of the National Social Work Week and digital era of fieldwork, experiment and innovation in fieldwork during COVID pandemic, World Social Work Day, ensuring social justice during pandemic situation, and social work and good governance. So these are the major highlights into this issue actually. And before the launch, let us first acknowledge the presence of our eminent guest. So we are indeed privileged to have amongst us Professor Pamla Singla, Head of Department of Social Work, University of Delhi. Professor Rose, she will join later, Director, School of Social Work, IGNOU. Professor Veena Antony Rezi, Senior Faculty, Department of Social Work, Aditi Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi, and Dr. Richard Chaudhary, Teacher in Charge, Department of Social Work, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar College, University of Delhi. So pleasure to having you all here. And I would like to call upon Mr. Siddhant Kumar, Coordinator, NAPSWI Students Forum and MSW Final Year Student at DSW, to introduce our guest for today's program.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my privilege to introduce some of the most distinguished figures and stalwarts of professional social work, from whom we budding social worker always aspire. So our guest is Professor Pamla Singh. Professor Pamla Singh is a professor and head of department at the Department of Social Work, University of Delhi. A graduate in economics honors from Sri Ram College of Commerce, she obtained her MA, MPhil, and PhD in social work from the Department of Social Work, Delhi University, and research on women-centric themes. Her work has explored various issues of thoughts in feminist thinking, such as safe university campuses, the impact of natural resources on the lives of women, rehabilitation, and prevention of human trafficking, manual scavenging, welfare schemes, forced marriage, and livelihood, to focus on empowerment of women and their rights. She has been a member of various important committees of the government and has been involved in policy making with the government for the well-being of women. She has contributed as a member of an expert panel constituted by Lieutenant Governor in 2017 to check crime against women in Delhi. She has also been associated with the Parivartan program Delhi Police to combat violence against women. She is also a gender trainer and has conducted several gender sensitization programs for Delhi Metro staff, CRPF, Delhi Police University faculty, and schools of Delhi. One of her major action projects has been imparting soft skill training in the Kashmir Police, training a total of 11,000 security personnel. She has visited extensively and traveled widely and has presented her work at international and national conferences. Next, our guest is Professor Rose Nemekia. Professor Rose is a professor and director School of Social Work, IGNOU. Before joining Indira Gandhi National Open University, she has worked at Department of Social Work in Delhi University as an adjunct faculty. She completed her PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University's Center for Social Medicine and Community Health. She has launched programs like the postgraduate diploma in social work among the tribals and certificate in diploma program on HIV and family education. Her areas of interest are tribal and their issues, women and adolescent and community organization. Professor Rose has been coordinating the Pan Africa e-network project, which is a virtual face-to-face real-time classroom teaching since 2010. She also presented paper at many international and international conferences. Next our guest is Professor Beena Anti-Rezi. Professor Beena Anti-Rezi is is one of the senior most faculty at Aditi Mahavidyalaya, Delhi University, teaching bachelor's there since 1998. She has been a faculty in charge of the Global Fund project at Aditi Mahavidyalaya from 2008 to 2015. She has also worked extensively on HIV/AIDS and has been a part of National AIDS Control Program. Also, she has been a member of Zonal Resource Pool at Jamia Millia Islamia University, which has experts in the field of HIV/AIDS from the government and non-government organizations from North India working on the field of HIV/AIDS. She has also been involved in the various academic programs in developing their curriculum and course materials for HIV/AIDS in their different courses like certificates in HIV/AIDS and a family education diploma in HIV/AIDS and family education. Bachelor's in Master Social Work and also was a part of the expert committee for developing the curriculum of the life skill education with the Indira Gandhi National Open University. She has published various research articles and books and has also organized and presented papers at various conferences. The last guest of the today program is Professor Richard Chaudhary. Professor Richard Chaudhary is an associate professor and teacher in charge at the Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar College, University of Delhi. A graduate in sociology from Banaras Hindu University, she did her master's and PhD in social work from University of Lucknow. She is enlightening social work students about the concept of social work since 1996, and she has been at the forefront when it comes to the research and writing on different issues related to the field of social work. Till yet, she has published more than 30 national, international papers, 8 books, and more than 20 chapters in different Indian universities studies materials. She also presented more than 50 research papers at national seminars and conferences and more than 18 at the international seminar conferences. Because of her extensive work and experience in the field of social work, she has also been an honorary member of different non-government organizations and board members and mental health unit of Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. NAPSWI is truly grateful for your contribution in the field of field and for getting this event with your presence. Looking forward to hear from you. Over to you, sir. Sir, you are on mute, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddhant, for introducing our guest in a very brief and very beautiful manner, actually. And Friends, I would like to share, we conceptualized about this newsletter earlier in 2015, but unfortunately it couldn't become a reality. And last year in 2021, we introduced our first issue, and this is the second one. So this is what I wanted to share. May I now call upon our President NAPSWI, Professor R.P. Dwivedi, to deliver welcome address and presidential remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Atul Pratapji, for introducing me and inviting me to say a few words on this occasion. First of all, I welcome the great educators of the country, especially in field of social work, like the Professor Sanjai Bhatt, who is the mentor and give the say to this particular association that is called NAPSWI. And just floating the idea to start this type of activities under the banner of the NAPSWI to provide the space to the students, especially as ambassadors of the social work. So I welcome Professor Bhatt Sahab. I welcome Professor Pamla Singh for providing leadership to the young trainees of the School of Social Work. Time to time, she supports us, and I feel that she is integral part of the NAPSWI. Whenever we are in need, she is available. So I welcome Pamela ji for her just motivation, inspiration, and suggestion, and the presence in the every events, especially of the NAPSWI. I welcome Professor Roach, Director, School of Social Work, IGNU, for her contribution made in field of social work. And I hope that we will receive the regular support for this institution, which is a pioneer institution, especially doing a lot of work to promote activities of the social work in field work, in social work institution. And as we are aware that how the people are very sincerely looking for the National Council for Social Work, the convener of the national level, Professor Sanjai Bhatt, is here. I welcome Dr. Veena Antoniji, the senior faculty member of Aditya Bahila Mahavidyalaya of Delhi University. And I also welcome the Richard Chaudhary, one of the senior faculty member of the Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar Just College, Delhi, for her support and encouragement to the students of. Therefore, the number of the students I observed in the last two conference, the conference organized by the Vishwabharati of the Social Work Congress, and the second, the number of the students from the Bhimrao Ambedkar College that took part in the different kind of activities, definitely credit will go to the faculty members like the Atul ji and the Richard Chaudhary ji. So I welcome Richard Chaudhary ji and other faculty members too, those who are just on the platform of this occasion. How can I forget the welcoming new trainees, those who are the ambassadors, students, ambassadors of social work? I would like to just call the name of the few, those who contributed a lot in the first Social Work Congress and second Social Work Congress too, that is the 9th Social Work Congress. For example, Monica, Himanshu, Siddhant, Aparna Vyas, yes, Sarma from the School of Social Work, Aparna Vyas from the Barasari Vidyapeeth. She is also in editorial board. Lama Abbas, Bhopal School of Social Sciences. She is also in our editorial board of this national newsletter. Himani Pant from Punjab University, Chandigarh, Bhavna Rai. All the members, they are the member of the editorial boards. They contributed a lot. How can I forget giving the thanks and welcoming to the young, the convener, especially the coordinator of the Students Chronicle team, Siddhant ji, who regularly approach to everybody from the social work platform to take part, to support him. So really, I welcome the efforts made by Siddhant ji and entire team. I don't know how idea came in the mind of Atul ji and Professor Sanjai Bhatt ji to involve the young social work trainees with the NAPSWI platform. But no doubt, what we realize in two social work congress, that different kind of activities were organized by this students board, especially under the leadership of Siddhant ji and the Monica ji, Himanshu ji, and Himani Panji, Bhavna Rai ji. For example, the quiz competition, poster competition, debate competition, and especially workshop organized for the young social work students. So it was great success in two consecutive programs, especially of the Social Work Congress. So they all deserve special thanks. And this time, the second social work newsletter is going to be launched today. मैं अपनी तरफ से हृदय से from inner core of heart, I support my students, I support my members. I am thankful to the entire team of the NAPSWI office bearers, those who are regularly inspiring these students and bringing them mainstream of the social work and development. I have gone through the few articles. I know who is behind this program. Dr. Atul Pratap Singh, he discussed during the COVID-19 situation several times. He discussed with me how we can just make the very effective field work during the pandemic situation. And his article, which is stated in this journal, is very important. I have gone to each and every line of that. The title of that, Experiments and Innovation in Fieldwork During COVID-19. Very good article, thought-provoking article, and idea is there how we can just organize the fieldwork in such kind of situation. That is a very good idea. Our just Vice President also just has started one article in this journal, in this newsletter, Digital Era, how it's changing the process and person's interaction in fieldwork practice. It is very valuable, very, very important. And those students contributed in this. I have gone through the article. They are the young trainees, but very sincerely, they have expressed their views, they share their ideas in their article, especially digitalization of social work, its impact on fieldwork during pandemic practices in rural communities. Srilita Ghosh and Arnav Sanyal from Vishwabharati, very good article. Securing social justice during pandemic, Swam Sekhar from Dalit School of Social Work. Shifting digitally for the fieldwork, Ankita Kumar from West Bengal. And the digital social work, Zaira Nakwi from B.R. Ambedkar College. Fieldwork at Zor Connected in Pandemic, Rupam Sarkar, DSS Dabu. These are the contributors. And no doubt, through this newsletter, what we did in last year, in entire year in social work under the banner of the NAPSWI, it is clearly stated. The one event, very important event took place in this year, when the social work institutions observed the second social work week. Already a brief report is stated by the Atul Pratap Singh, how the more than 20 institutions of India, they observed from 15 August to 21 August 21, the different kind of activities took place. Dr. Atul Pratap Singh was the convener of that program. He took the help of Banshidhar Pandey, and I am thankful to Atulji. He provided the resource person, the institution asked from the NAPSWI to say about few words in social work just weeks. So these are the activities took part in the. I once again thanks to all the participants, all the contributors, and those who are deeply engaged in promotion of the social work institutions. With these words, I sum up my deliberations. Once again, thank to entire team of the Siddhant, and thanks to Atul Pratap ji to organize very sincerely this program. I hope in future, only the just start the program is very easy, but continuity is required. And for the continuous activities, definitely we cannot take rest. So without taking any tireless, we have to just move forward, and we have to think about it, that how we can continue. Every year, this journal will come with the different ideas, with the new innovative ideas, and we will continue it with the NAPSWI. I hope the Siddhant will hand over the charge next year or next year to other social work students. From very beginning, he has to search his just वारिस, अपने वारिस की तलाश इन्हें करनी पड़ेगी जो इस काम को आगे बढ़ा सके. इन शब्दों के साथ एक बार पुनः पामेला जी का, रोज जी का, बीना जी का, रिचा जी का, और मैं सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात जो सबके पीछे हम लोगों के हैं, प्रोफेसर संजय भट्ट साहब, who floated the idea how to move forward, how to organize, how to develop an institution, how to run it smoothly. Tirelessly, he worked, hard work every day. He is very serious, and he communicated us regularly. He communicated to the Atul Pratap ji and other members, NAPSWI office bearers, that we have to move forward. We have to organize different kind of activities. Sir, we cannot forget how you contributed, not only for the NAPSWI, you contributed a lot for the entire social work institution working and running in India. Thank you very much for providing space in this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such inspiring, encouraging, and motivating words. And you are always very kind to motivate us in a very continuous manner, even during tough time, during second wave of COVID. We were making call continuously, and you encourage a lot. Thank you. And I'm watching on my screen, Professor Pratikha Mitra is here with us. So I also welcome you, ma'am. And with this, I'm moving ahead. And now I would like to invite Professor Sanjai Bhatt, Professor and former head DSSW, immediate past president NAPSWI, for the opening remarks and give an overview of this newsletter.
Thank you, Dr. Atul. The esteemed guest for today's function, Professor Pamla Singla, Dr. Richard Chaudhary, Professor Binaji, Professor Rose, and in absentia, Professor Archana ji, who was supposed to be with us, but she could not join us from Jamia. Archana Dasi ji. We have with us the office bearers of NAPSWI, President Vedi, and few other members, Professor Pratibha Jain and Atulji. So dear students, friends, this is really a pleasure movement that the students' creativity is now being shared online and on the platforms of the NAPSWI. So I'm really glad and I'm very happy to see that the second volume of the newsletter is there. The newsletter I have gone through, I have flipped it. It is quite academic in the sense that it touches the different academic aspects. The idea of newsletter came from the student ambassadors. So 2 years ago, we have started a program to have the student ambassador of the NAPSWI. So they are called NAPSWI ambassadors also. And 4 years ago, we have started a program for students having the student forum in Indian Social Work Congress. So right from we are evolving every time. First, we came out as a student forum. Then we came out as a NAPSWI student ambassador program. Then we came 2 years back, we came with the National Social Work Week, where most of the students participate and they do lot many exercises, as Professor Dwivedi has told you, poster competition and quiz competition. This year also we will be, we will be announcing the winners after the launch of the newsletter, and we have already announced it, and we will also give them a small token of prize to them. And the one very important thing which has been discussed with the president and secretary, that we will be offering the membership to the winners of this program. So they will be offered the student membership, and their membership fees will be paid by the NAPSWI as a matter of courtesy. So with these, that I have only few suggestions for time to come, that the newsletter may serve different other purposes. It may be more creative, it may be more youthful. There can be also some jokes. There can be also some experiences, though many things are there, but there can be many more platforms to be created into that. And I think this can serve a bigger purpose if we could disseminate it to largely. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I will also request all of you to be the part of the third National Social Work Week of 2022, which will held from 15th August to 21st August, and that will be followed by 10th Indian Social Work Congress, which will be held in Baroda this year in somewhere in November. So we have a series of events coming up. And one more request, if you have any suggestion for the NAPSWI, please do share with us. And most of the students may not be aware about the NAPSWI. We have contributed a good amount of our responsibility and creating a definition of social work, initiating a pledge of social work, bringing out a code of ethics, for making advocacy campaign for National Council for Social Work Education. We have recently developed a curriculum for under the new education policy. So we have published a journal. We have published a list of schools of social work. So number of things NAPSWI is trying to do. You are most welcome to join us in any of the venture as volunteer. So thank you very much, and thank you office bearers and executive members for recalling me a past person and giving so much respect and regard to me. Thank you very much. I feel honored with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving very precise overview about NAPSWI newsletter and other activities as well. Now it's time to release the second issue of newsletter, the Students Chronicle. Mr. Siddhant is requested to facilitate by sharing the slide. So this is our newsletter. I have a cover page of this. I have taken this for me to display over here. And I think it's a good that we are talking about the changing perspective of field work during COVID pandemic. And many of my esteemed colleagues will be agreed that somehow field work has been quite neglected, in this. But here during pandemic, we realized, no, this is most important thing and we have to do something, and we all together. And as a result, we are writing down and we are coming up with some innovations, and this would be further a value addition not only to the schools of social work, but government is also looking for Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So how we can connect with the community through community engagement programs. So I think it's a good thing. Yes, of course, many premier institutions like DSSW, TSS and others are significantly working in this direction. But I think this message should be conveyed to the schools of social work. Those are newly established or they are at rural outskirts, because they have no idea how to conduct field work activities. So I think it's a good initiative. With this, thank you. And I'm moving ahead. After this, we will announce the names of winners of various competitions held under Student Forum during 9th Indian Social Work Congress, which is absolutely necessary to acknowledge our young buddies for their talent. So once again, Siddhant is requested to facilitate us by sharing this slide. Aditya Tejaswi, Samson S. Raja, poster competition. Tripti Pandey, quiz competition. Olivia for quiz competition. Debate competition. Shivangi Trivedi, good. Tanu Dabral, debate competition. Is it over? Thank you, Siddhant, for facilitating us. Now we are moving and in the next segment, and we are waiting, in fact, for listening our guest actually. So firstly, I would like to call upon Dr. Richard Chaudhary to share with us her views.
Thank you, Atulji. Thank you. First of all, I must thank you, the NAPSWI team, for inviting me here to share my views about the NAPSWI and their chronicle, this magazine or newsletter. This is a second edition, I can see. और मैं सबसे पहले अपने आदरणीय द्विवेदी जी, आदरणीय भट्ट सर और मेरे रेस्पेक्टेड पामेला सिंगला मैम, जो भी सीनियर मेरे यहाँ पे हैं, सबका अभिवादन करती हूँ, प्रतिभा मैम, और मेरे कुलीग्स जो मेरे साथ के हैं उन सबका ही धन्यवाद करती हूँ मुझे यहाँ बुलाया। और सबसे ज़्यादा विशेष और आशीर्वाद देना चाहूँगी जो ये स्टूडेंट्स की टीम है यहाँ पे, और जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा मेहनत से ये काम कर रही है। आई जस्ट मस्ट अप्रिशिएट योर एफर्ट्स सिद्धांत, यू ऑल आर required a big congratulations and required a big blessings and all, और हमारी ब्लेसिंग्स आपके साथ है। एंड आई हैव सीन द न्यूज़लेटर, और इसमें जो 2-3 चीज़ें आपकी पैंडेमिक के टाइम का जो फील्ड वर्क का सीन्स हैं, जो भी एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, दैट वाज अमेजिंग। और जैसा कि भट्ट सर ने भी कहा कि देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी, लॉट ऑफ things to be incorporated in the next newsletter, so वो आप जरूर ध्यान देंगे। भट्ट सर के किस व्यूज से आई एम एग्री विद, और मेरी बेस्ट विशेस हैं सभी को, और मेरा इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ थैंक यू सो मच, आप सबको विशेस। थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am, for encouraging our team with this. May I now invite Professor Veena Reddy ji to share her views with us. Veena ma'am, over to you. Veena ma'am, your mic is off. Please unmute yourself. She is here with us. Professor Veena. I think maybe she's facing some technical glitch actually. So can we move?
बीना जी हैं तो मेरे ख्याल से।
हाँ, I have given a call, sir.
There is some technical issue, I think so. You can invite the Professor Pamla.
Okay, yes. Because Professor Rose unfortunately couldn't join us. So may I request to
Dr. Atul, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I think a microphone has gone off.
Your mic is off. Unmute yourself, ma'am, first. Ma'am, take an exit and then join. Your problem will be fixed. Take an exit and again join. I think she is not able to listen. So
I've conveyed it to her, Atul, and I've told her to exit and then rejoin.
Okay. So may I now invite Professor Pamla Singla, Head of Department, Delhi School of Social Work, for sharing her views with us. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Atul. Thanks a lot, and a very good afternoon to everyone present here online with us. Professor Dwivedi, thank you very much for such kind words about me. You were very generous. And Atul, thank you very much for giving me a call and inviting me for this very momentous occasion. And of course, Siddhant, thanks for introducing me. It was nice to listen to what all you had to say. So It gives me indeed great joy to be present on the occasion of the official launch of the second newsletter by NAPSWI. And I'd like to congratulate the entire team of NAPSWI for this great achievement, and heartiest congratulations. And I'd like to mention the names of Professor Dwivedi, who is the president of NAPSWI, Professor Sanjai Bhatt, who is, as has been said and we all know, has been the former president, and he's actually the backbone of NAPSWI. Professor Sanjai Roy, who's not here, but who's the vice president, Ankur Saxena, who is the secretary, then of course Dr. Atul Pratap Singh, who is the treasurer, and of course everyone who's a part of NAPSWI. Heartiest congratulations for this great achievement. And as we all know, that NAPSWI is the national level professional association of the social workers, and they're working very hard. As we've also seen, we've heard Professor Bhatt talk about some of the achievements about which we know, in coining the definition of social work, the code of ethics, the curriculum, of course, which is the latest one. And of course, we also know about the journal of NAPSWI. And one of the most prominent features of NAPSWI is the annual Congress that is organized. And the best part of the Congress is that it gets together practitioners and people from the academia and the students. They all get together to share their experiences, their work, and jointly think about a journey together. And that's revisited every time we meet every year. So I think that's a big achievement, and we feel very proud of the fact that majority of us who are here are all members of NAPSWI. So while the newsletter was being launched, I thought that it was a great achievement for each one of us, because we all are associated with the National Association of Professional Social Workers in India. And also I'd like to say that the newsletter is a welcome step, because through this newsletter, we are actually disseminating the information on social work and the kind of events that are taking place in the country. As of now, I think we are focusing more on the national front. So, and if we all know, as we all know, that Abraham Flexner has very clearly said that to be called a profession, it's very important that there has to be an association and there has to be dissemination of information. So I think NAPSWI is fulfilling that role in a very effective, very efficient way. And we really wish that we go miles forward in this dream and achievement of ours. And I also see, in fact, as I was going through it, I've gone through the content, though did not find time to read it. So I see that the coverage of the newsletter is on an important theme, as has been also said by everyone who just spoken, that it's on fieldwork during the pandemic, something that we were all concerned, something that we really did not know how we would do fieldwork during pandemic, because as we know, in social work, fieldwork is the essence, the heart of social work. And somewhere we were all worried what would happen. So somewhere we say that social workers have to adapt themselves to every situation that they face. So I think without really feeling too nervous about it, which we were initially, but we've been able to adapt ourselves to the pandemic, and we've been able to we've been able to use and effectively use and adapt ourselves to the quarantine, to the online, to the various kind of social media that has come up, to the various kinds of zones. We have been able to work effectively with this kind of terminology that has come up during the quarantine. So that basically speaks a lot about the whole essence of the field of social work. And as I was seeing that I was going through the document, I really appreciate the active involvement of the students' body in bringing out this newsletter. And I'm sure that the newsletter would be definitely increasing its frequency because it's begun, as Atul just said, that in 2021, the first issue was launched. So we got out the second issue today. And I'm sure the newsletter will be bringing out the newsletter will be increasing its frequency, also because of the fact that not only are we in the online mode or in the offline mode, we're in the hybrid mode. And basically that means that the number of activities are definitely bound to increase. And also we're going to achieve a lot. So I think it's important that we need to circulate that information at the national level and also at the international level. So I think subsequently we will also be covering the activities that are taking place at the international level, because the focus of the new education policy and also it's all about internationalization of curriculum and also getting to see the kind of work that is happening abroad, and for the better understanding of our faculty, of our students. So the newsletter, I'm sure, would include all the achievements, and maybe as has been said, the awards, the prizes that have gone to the students, so they would also get a name in this newsletter, and of course, many more things would definitely get to be included in the newsletter as we proceed. So once again, I congratulate NAPSWI on this occasion, and wish the entire NAPSWI team, which includes all of us, all the very best for our future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such encouraging and inspiring word for our team. Actually, you are always very kind to appreciate us. It is quite evident, actually, earlier also. With this, we have with us a senior faculty, Professor Pratibha J. Mishra. So, and she is also our executive member. So, ma'am, may I call you over here to share your views?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atul, for providing me this opportunity, and all my respected senior faculty members, Professor Dwivedi ji, NAPSWI President, Professor Sanjai Bhatt ji, immediate past President, and I can see Professor Pamla Singh ji, Head of the Department, DSSW, Dr. Richard Chaudhary, Dr. Tushti ji, Dr. Nimisha ji, and lot of other people, and all young students. They are the future of tomorrow for the nation as well as for the art social work fraternity, and they have to lead a very important role as well as very important inning. Let me first congratulate all those who are associated with this NAPSWI second edition of the Students Journal. And although I have not seen the content of this journal, but what I have heard, that it seems that it is very inspiring, and I think it will be a stepping stone. And इतने सुंदर efforts के लिए, लोगों को motivate करने के लिए, पूरे NAPSWI परिवार को, और खास तौर से जिन्होंने इसमें contribute किया है, उनको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बधाई और अभिवादन। और उम्मीद करती हूँ, I was in the first edition, I was also present, and the third and fourth edition will be more stronger, and it will be spread more knowledge, content, and the fieldwork opportunities and other different aspects of the social work. And I'm really very happy, because जब हम स्टूडेंट्स थे तब शायद हम लोगों को ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलती थी, एंड नाउअडेज लॉट ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी, इनोवेशंस एंड वेरी गुड ideas which can lead to a very good future. So let me once again congratulate, and as well as hoping for the best. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us, which is your usual practice. I have never found you absent in any NAPSWI program. So I think your attendance is 100% actually. So it is highly appreciable, and thank you so much for encouraging, supporting us all the time, all the way. Thank you. So with this, now I will call upon a couple of students to share their experiences about student ambassadorship program and student forum actually, how their experience was while associated with that. So firstly, I would like to call upon Rupam Sarkar, MSW final year from DSSW.
Hello everyone, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, of course.
Thank you sir. I'm truly honored to be able to speak here, and I'm also honored to be able to publish my work in the newsletter. My writing is based on my experience of online fieldwork that I did in my first year as a part of completion of the course in Master of Social Work from Delhi University. Now, I'd like to start whatever I'm going to talk today with a story. During like when I got admission in social work, it was like we started with an online setting. So I guess all of you know about, there's a very big festival in Bengal. I come from Bengal. It's Durga Puja. What we do in Durga Puja is that in Durga Puja, we kids are given sweets and other eatables from elders. So I was talking to my mama. My mama was in Bombay. He couldn't come back. So I was talking to my mama and it's like कि पैसे भेज दो अभी तो sweets तो आप दे नहीं पाओगे. So he sent me a photo of his sweet box and it's like, here you go, your sweets. And I was like, ऐसे sweets तो नहीं चाहिए, I need physical sweets. So then told me that okay, तुम समाज सेवा फोन से कर सकता हूँ, फोन से sweet नहीं भेज सकते. These jokes kept on coming up from mama, from my parents. I also am a football fan, so I usually watch football late at night. So sometime my mother would come to my room and then it's like, इतनी रात हो गया, क्या कर रहे हो, मैच देख रहे हो? से माँ बस 2 मिनट. Then she would say, ठीक है, तुम कभी भी फील्डिंग वर्क कर रहे होगे, फोन में कुछ कर रहे हो. So this kind of jokes kept coming up, and it was a surprise for us also. We social workers, we came to this profession, it's like, ठीक है, field work करेंगे, बाहर जाएंगे, लोगों की मदद करेंगे, कितना कुछ कर लेंगे. Then I joined and it's like told that okay, your field work would be online, everything on laptop, nothing, no physical interaction. And the area I come from, there is hardly any NGOs working in this area. So I had to work with the Jhar Connect project of Ajim Premji Foundation. So the initial response was a bit of a disappointment because all of us wanted to go on ground and work like I did my NSS when I was in Hindu college. But I think after 1 year of field work, 1 year of working with Jhar Connect and Ajim Premji Foundation, I realized the paradigm shift that has happened in social work, in field work during this COVID time. Because let me tell you, in the beginning, as much disappointed I was, in the end, I was more happy because all of us were able to, positively contribute to society. We were able to make ration cards for people, voter ID cards for people, even घर के झगड़े भी सुलझाए हैं phone पे, उसी laptop पे. So that is how interesting and engaging online fieldwork has been for me. Still now, even though my fieldwork has ended with our organization, I still get call from those clients from Jharkhand whom I have never met physically. So social work or fieldwork is not yet not limited to the physical field that we think of, because digital media with all this with the geo experience, with cheap data, it has become a very important field. We have seen medical fields and every other professional field being transferred into this digital media. I've seen like counseling करते लोग phone पे doctors बता देता आपको ये दिक्कत है, दवाई ले लीजिए. Similarly, this shift has happened into social work, and I'm glad that the Indian social work community has also adapted to it. Yes. So yes, that has been my experience. I think I was very much glad that I got to experience this online fieldwork thing. I got to work with people even in this digital setting, and I know for sure that in future digital fieldwork or digital social work is going to be a thing, because with more and more use of phone, with cheaper data, with more people having smartphones, and also the comfort that we have to speak behind the screen. I think if I would have been standing in front of all of you in a hall, maybe I would be stammering. But this provides a sense of protectiveness to us, which is why people getting socially comfortable in front of screens in digital media opens the door for social work being done in digital form or the online social work, which is what I have experienced during my first year in fieldwork. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Thank you. What you said is absolutely fine. Integrating ICT in the fieldwork practice learning is the new normal situation, as we all know. It is well established fact, but definitely in near future it would be a supplementary device for the fieldwork. But we should also remember that this fieldwork requires scientific knowledge and skilled competencies in dealing with human relations, emotion, and problem. So there are certain restrictions also, but definitely some advantages are also there. So how and to what extent in near future we will have both in a blended mode. real field as well as ICT, use of ICT or virtual platform. So definitely it will add more value because yes, of course, still COVID is with us and we are in a new normal situation, and this will be continued. And any new, experiment is always continued, as we all know, which is quite evident. So thank you, Rupam. May I now call upon our next student, Mr. Aditya Sinha, MSW final year from University of Lucknow.
Thank you for having me, sir. Good evening to everyone present out here, sirs, madams. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I was really looking forward to this. A few days ago, I was having a talk with Siddhant. We were discussing how quickly this 1 year has passed. And a few days ago, in the same meeting, he asked me to present my views here today. So I've been thinking about it for the last 2 days, and I have come up with two major things that I would like to share. The first is the importance of this forum, of this ambassadorship program that I've been a part of all through this year. Why is this important? It is important because as a social worker, we are not solitary beings. As a social worker, we are always a part of a group. As a social worker, we are always focused on finding unique solution to problems. And Siddhant is here, and under the leadership of Siddhant, he was always there for us. We used to had a video chat, me, Siddhant, and a few other guys initially. We used to just talk, discuss problems, talk about what we are doing, what we are going through in our social work field, the problems that we face, and how we are overcoming them. So first of all, this ambassadorship program, it really opened up a lot of resources, a lot of insights that one could not have otherwise received. Getting in touch with social work practitioners from all across the country, that was really, really enlightening. You get to hear so many perspectives, you get to meet so many different people, and I'm really glad that I was part of such interactive and engaging student work forum. The second point, which was a step up from this one, which would not have been possible without this program, is that we are always we are always pressurized into the lower strata, the problem area of the society. We are always forced to think about how people are struggling, why they are struggling, and to find out solutions. So when we all got locked inside our homes due to this pandemic, due to this lockdown, it was sort of a natural thought for all of us to find out how we can get out of this, how we can rise from this problem. Everyone around us kept saying that it's okay, you can just get together with your people on Google Meet or Zoom platform and you can talk to them face to face. But that's not how a social worker works, right? We get into the field, we dive into the depth of the problem, we talk to people face to face. No matter how hard it gets, even in the lockdown, even in the pandemic, there were hundreds and thousands of people who were in the society risking their own lives, working for the betterment of the people who could not fend for themselves. So there also I thought about this ambassadorship program, this forum, this interactive meet that we had, and how in spite of hardships that we had, we used to just stay together and kept thinking and thinking till we figure out a problem. And that's the same approach that I took to my fieldwork. We started letter communication, one-on-one phone counseling sessions, everything based on the experiences that we have had collectively. So yes, having this ambassadorship program with me, it really benefited me in my fieldwork isolation days too. It gave me a lot of insight into how to develop one-to-one person relationships with the people that I work with the individual case studies that I take, how to make someone feel that you're actually there, without being present physically there. So just these are the takeaways, these are the key points that I have from my fieldwork experience. And I would like to conclude now. I would like to conclude by saying that never take no for an answer. There are going to be problems, there are going to be challenging situations, but you need to think and just keep on thinking until you come up with a solution, because you spend some time with it and the solution is bound to present itself. That would be all from my side. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Aditya, for sharing your views. Before I move to the last segment, that is delivering vote of thanks, may I request everybody to open the camera so that we can take a few pictures for our archive. Everybody is humbly requested to open the camera. Pamela ma'am, everybody, and Richa ma'am, Tushti ji, Pratibha ma'am, Pamela ma'am, you are also requested to open the camera. Siddhant, please take few pics and give me a signal that your work is done. Then I will call.
Sure.
Yeah. Then after I will call Aparna. Everybody is requested to please open the camera. This is also one of the ritual.
But sir, आप भी कीजिए camera on.
But sir, you are also requested. Siddhant, done? Okay. So now, as I mentioned, we are moving to the end. But there is an end to everything. But I believe that there is never an end. Always a beginning. To conclude for today, I request Ms. Aparna Vyas, our student ambassador, as well as MSW final year student, Kanishthali Vidyapith, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. So a very good evening to one and all. So I would extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests for sparing out time from their busy schedules, for enlightening us with their experiences and knowledge. We are all the forthcoming social workers of the country. And I would also like to thank the stakeholders of NAPSWI for giving us this opportunity, this platform, and to become a student ambassador and providing us the Students Forum platform, and also for organizing this illuminating session for us. Lastly, I would like to express my sincere thanks to my fellow social workers, the students and the scholars for their presence and for contributing their experiences as well and making this webinar a great success. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Aparna, for presenting a very precise vote of thanks. Now our this release program is over. Thank you so much for being with us. We are very well on time. It is 2 minutes before 5 p.m. So this is what is called professionalism at the end. So this was a big challenge for me to complete the program within time. So with this, once again, and it was possible because of your support. So thank you very much, everybody who is sitting over here, and I'm watching. So thank you.
Thank you, Atulji. Thank you, Atulji. Siddhantji, I hope that we have to move forward once again for the next issue, and we have to invite the people from every nook and corner of the nation for their articles, for their news. So this is responsibility of we people that we have to approach all the social work institutions. If the new activities taking place or any big program is going to be organized, at least it should be covered by the newsletter. This is my expectations from the editorial boards. Thank you.
Very right, sir. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you all, and congratulations to all winners, posters, quiz, and debate competitions.
Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, because COVID has again came back actually. So stay safe and healthy, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.